huddle, he coming up and just kind of tell me what we're going to do, and then I communicate it to our guys. So I don't see it being too much of a problem, especially if we prepare the way we should.
Dabo mentioned today you face an 8-man front a lot of times with this team. For you specifically on the offensive line, what does that mean? What do you guys have to do well?
Well, just continue to get better. You know, it obviously starts with our preparation, and we've done a better job each and every week of coming in here and doing more than what they ask of us. And, you know, I think if we do that again this week, we'll be prepared, and I think we'll play well.
On film, does Virginia Tech look better than Florida State?
It's hard to say. They're very different. I mean, they're obviously both very athletic. Virginia Tech brings a little bit more blitzing. Coach Foster up there, I mean, he's crazy. He's not very gap sound in what he does. I mean, they end up being gap sound, but it's hard to pick it up and it's hard to figure it out. But, you know, they do a good job of what they do, and it's going to take a good effort from us.
Do you allow yourself even to think about how people would view Clemson if you were to win this game and start the season 5-0 and at that time probably be a top 10 team?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the back of our mind, but right now our biggest focus is just trying to get better. I mean, we're still a 6-7 football team until the end of the year, and the rankings don't really have any meaning until the end of the year.
Talk about a young quarterback going on the road. Just what kind of challenges that presents. Obviously, having 4 games to figure out where he is and where he fits in the offense helps. Just Lane State is not the easiest place to play.
Yeah, I think Taj is a competitor. I mean, I think he's going to thrive in this environment. I'm very thankful we've had 4 home games to kind of get him settled down. I think he's gotten better every week, and I think he'll handle this well. Our coaches will do a great job of putting us in crowd noise and tough situations where we can't hear, and you know, we'll have a little bit of everything. Of course, it's not like the real thing, but I think he'll do fine.
Can you even learn from a situation like Saturdays where Nuke was down over there on the flat end cover, and you and Tyler maybe have a little back and forth because the band was playing too loud? Is that something you can learn from too?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always going to be little hiccups here and there that you can't prepare for, that you aren't prepared for. It's just something that happens in games. And I think as the season goes on, we're going to get most of those figured out, and when the time comes up, we'll know how to combat it.
Well, that last drive, the Florida State man was actually right behind you playing the tomahawk chop stuff. Was that, I mean, a little bit distracting right before?
Yeah, that's actually while we were in a silent count. We were right there in front of their band and all their section, and you know, it might not have been many people when that band's cranked up. It was pretty loud, and but you know, we were prepared for it. I mean, that was kind of a fluke thing. They didn't have anybody covering Nuke, and if we'd have got it snapped, it'd have been great. But we got a touchdown either way.
Teams have, you know, more and more weeks now to see Taj, see Watkins, and see what Chad's trying to do. Are you going to have to adjust to their adjustments at some point?
Definitely. I mean, football is a chess match, and our coaches do a great job of preparing for our opponents and what they do, and I'm sure their coaches, you know, at other teams do a great job preparing for what we do. But ultimately, it comes down to playmakers making plays, and we've been blessed this far, and hopefully we can continue to be so.
Talked about this group on the offensive line wanting to be leaders. Is this a chance to be a leader? This week was taking so many young guys on their first road trip.
Definitely. I mean, we have a great mixture of youth and maturity on this team, and the good news for us in an environment like this is we've all played in big time situations and loud environments where you can't hear. We've had to go on a silent count. It will be Taj's first time, but you know, if we can remain constant and calm up front, then I think he'll be fine, and we'll all adjust well.
Coach Morris said yesterday that he's heard a lot about the last time Clemson went up to Virginia Tech and said they got hit in the mouth and were asking each other how quick they could get back to the bus. You know, obviously you've never been up there either, but have you heard that story as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's lingered around here forever, but you know, none of us have ever played there. None of this coaching staff hadn't been set and gone up there and played. I mean, that was a long time ago, and we're trying to focus on this year.
But at the same time, you probably feel like it's a chance to prove this is a different Clemson team.
Well, we try to do that each and every week. It doesn't matter who we're playing or what their reputation is. I mean, it's us. We're competing against ourselves and the other team, and we're just trying to make ourselves better.
You see it every week in college football on that team. You've had 2 pretty good highs. You're starting to go in the right direction. How do you protect against going up there and you know, kind of not putting together your best effort and having that letdown that seems to happen?
We have to stay humble. I mean, if you go back and look at the film, there were so many mistakes we made, and we had a chance to score 50, 60 points, and we just silly mistakes that we shouldn't be making. And we have to continue to get better, and we have gotten better every week. And we're still searching for that complete game. We play a complete game, we're going to overwhelm people. You know, when our defense is doing everything right and our offense is clicking on all cylinders, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. But, you know, we're nowhere close to that right now. We have to continue to get better.
You guys have been really incredible on third down, but maybe not so good in short yardage situations. Is that a little frustrating?
Yeah, it's very frustrating, man. It's a big emphasis for us throughout the week and in practice and in our meetings and everything else. And for whatever reason, we just haven't been able to convert. I'm very proud of the third and long, third and medium, but the third and short has to get better.
This is a young team, and a lot of guys will be making maybe their first plane trip this week. And you recall any kind of funny stories from seeing some of the younger guys on their first airplane ride before, just out of curiosity?
Yeah, I mean, there's always a few guys panicking, and you know, we'll have characters singing a song, you know, like we're going down and all that stuff. I mean, it's always an adventure, but you know, we're family and we love each other, and that's all part of it.
So do you ever disengage from a block and see two heading toward the end zone and say, there he goes again?
I love it. I love seeing that. I mean, that's what's so fun about this offense and the guys we have is anytime they touch the ball, it's a chance for a home run, and it makes you want to do your job that much better.
What stands out to you about Virginia Tech's defense, and what kind of challenges provides? It's different than maybe an average week.
Well, they blitz a ton. I mean, Coach Foster is probably one of the best, well-known, best defensive coordinators in the country, and you know, he does a ton of stuff to keep you off balance, keep you confused. They don't show their blitzes; they do a great job of disguising it. And as I mentioned earlier, they play gap sound, but it's hard to figure it out because, you know, they'll have an end going into A gap and the linebacker filling the B gap, and all of a sudden the safety shows up on the edge. I mean, you can't figure it out. So it's going to take a great effort on our part of just preparing and trying to figure out what they do.
Anybody you played that's similar that runs that 4-2-5 or the 4-4?
Not really, not the way they do it. And, you know, that's a lot of credit to Virginia Tech and Coach Foster and how successful they've been in years past.
Thanks so much.
Sir.
Sir.